Hey, I'm sure you've seen the biggest spike that happened on West, right? And I wanted to talk about the explanation behind what happened, why it's like that, and how like SBI can actually fix it. Because yeah, it's getting a problem now. It's actually starting to see it. But the the crash happened on West, like the big crash. It didn't really happen on East. Obviously, gold price has been going up on East very steadily. Like gold has always been on every server, but I'm on West right now, which I don't play the server, but if we check by 7 day, you'll see the spike. It went much higher. It went to almost like 40 mil for 1 month premium, and right now it's at the 20 mil mark. So it was like 10K per gold almost, but it spiked so suddenly, right? You can't even see it on the graph. It only shows 6,000 when its reality was at 10,000. So the reason it spiked so suddenly is because the amount of gold that is on the market has been decreasing slowly and slowly on West server, right? And at a certain point, it only took like 3 billion silver, which a lot of people have 3 billion silver on West, right? To like buy all the gold. So whale probably just went up for fun, like because it wasn't much gold left, and just bought the rest, right? Bought a ton of it, and it created a massive spike in it, just for like trolling or fun or whatever. But it was like evident that that was gonna happen at one point, right? Because there was less and less gold on the market. They like there wasn't even enough for many refiners to even feed their alts like premiums, right? There was straight up under like I don't know. When I checked, there was like straight up when it was at 40 mil, you couldn't like buying 20,000 worth of gold would increase the gold price by like 4 times, right? That's insane. But the gold price will keep increasing for like right now it's probably starting like if you check 4 weeks like it's been increasing, right? Gold has always been increasing slightly at a time, slightly, it started more. And the big reason behind why the gold keeps on increasing forever and ever is because there's more silver coming into the game than going out the game. Obviously, like I don't have every single statistic of the gold coming in the game and out of the game because SBI does not give that to their players. Like I know EVE Online shows all the statistic of their currency going into the game and out of the game, where it's going out and where it's going in. But I can do a bit of math um on some of it, like the black market. Like I can calculate it, right? Because you can check the demand of the black market and how much the black market buys. That is an available statistic for players to check. It just takes a while to check. And on eServer, when I checked like a month ago, it was close to around 60, 70, 50 billion a day coming in new silver from the game from the black market. So that's just absolutely a huge amount coming into the game. But the thing is, you don't have enough coming out of the game, right? Because you have like obviously the new changes, the Lands Awaken, where they made a ton of silver go into the game just from regular mob drops. But those change make so there's more and more gold, like silver into the game, and since gold is locked to real money, silver is becoming less valuable, meaning the gold price just keep increasing forever and ever and ever until at a certain point it'll crash or it'll spike up like this and right. But it's really a shitty situation because like there's not much you can do about it with the current system of Albion runs on. People have been also asking, is this the E server doing? No, it's not really the E server. E server doesn't really affect it, right? Because you have player base on both servers. It doesn't really do much. I mean, I'm sure like it might have encouraged some swipers to swipe on West because there's just a new server and it pissed them off and maybe killed a few swipers. But like I don't think it did much like getting a new server in the game. It's more about I mean, there's the bot problem, right? It's more evident on East, I think, than West. But there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of bot on East running like during off timers, just gathering. And if you know, like gathering just in a royal can make you like 500k an hour, right? Imagine if you have bots running like 12 hours a day, right? Not even 24, 12 hours a day, you have thousands of them at 500k. That is literally like 1,000 is 6 billion silver a single day of silver coming to the game. And the problem isn't that, like, it's not new silver, right? Like, it's old silver. It's the fact that it's getting all RMT'd out of the game. And those players buying that silver is players that are not swiping gold from SBI, meaning there's less gold. They're just buying the silver directly. So that is the problem with bots, right? The bots problem isn't that it makes resources cheap. That's not the issue. The issue is the fact that they RMT it all out. And those players buying aren't buying it from SBI. Um, I mean, there's also the alt issue, right? Where you can just make a bunch of alts, and with the focus, which is this currency right here, you get 10,000 a day from owning an account with premium status, and then you can get better return on it. So a lot of crafting and refining activity, mostly refining, this is mostly very for refining, you need this focus in order to make money. So people have just been making tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of accounts, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of accounts just to get this focus, so they can use it every 3 days and just print money that way, right? And then, like, currently, like, if you check the silver per focus on some refined materials on a maxed out account, it's like 200 silver per focus, which is equal to 60 million a month. And right now it's like 20 million, so you could just triple your account every month, right? I know Mogden he mentioned it in his video about like 40 million silver, you could double your account and double and double and double your account. Obviously, like it costs a lot of money to spec up an account, but like it's kind of like that concept, right? People are just making more and more and more accounts, and there's no end to it because that is the meta and that's the only way to compete in this game. For refining, I do hideout crafting, so it's a bit differently. I don't use like alts. I just mass craft in the hideout with the big bonus it gives, since it's risk for reward, which is should like a lot of players have been saying, oh, the hideout's very overpowered, and then there's also a lot of players saying, oh, Royal is also too overpowered. I mean, you have to find like it's one or the other, right? Because if you nerf hideout crafting, everybody's gonna go make alts in the Royal. If you nerf Royal, then it's gonna be like hideout crafting. It's gonna be so much profit. So there's not very, it's hard to find an even ground on those two because they're kind of like opposites. But yes, interior refiners and crafters are buying a ton of alts. I mean, more refiners, crafters don't really, except like bag crafters and cave crafters, the one that are doing in Royal. But like hideout refiners aren't really making that many alts. Like maybe they have a few, but not a lot. Which sure they could like SBI could ban alts, right? Make it a new rule. Oh, no more alts. Or they could remove this focus thing. But that would just cause less premium accounts, which that like means less money for SBI. You put one plus one together, premium is worth like $15, I think. $15, even more if you buy the gold, because gold to premium ratio is not equal. And if there's no alt accounts, then Albion's gonna make less money, which they don't want that, right? At the end of the day, they're a business and they value money over anything. Um, like, there's also like, if they did that, right, it would make resources so expensive that would also mean more expensive gear, which would also mean more expensive tax. So the money leaving the game would actually increase, right? Because we all know refiners, when they transmute, it's money out of the game. If you don't know what transmuting is, right, it's when you take a low tier resources, like let's say tier 4 wood, right? It's just a tier 4 wood, the raw resource. You can pay silver to the game to get it to tier 5. Look, I'll show you. If you go to this tab, right here, look, you can take a regular tier 4 and turn it into tier 4.1 with 2,000 silver. You pay this silver to the game. You maybe pay like 15 silver to the station, right? But you pay like all the rest to the game. So it takes money out of the game, obviously. And then what takes so much money into the game is crafting for the black market. That is just like so much. I would say the majority of the silver coming into the game is black market, and then second, I'd probably say mob drops, um, leaving the game. But at the end of the day, like the problem is that there's not enough swipers. If you check like you were seeing on West server, there was like less and less gold on the market. A lot of people are just hogging the gold on because they know it's just going to become more valuable because of the simple reason that there's more silver coming into the game than leaving, meaning silver is becoming less valuable. So they're just hogging gold, they're just buying gold and they're never selling it, and they're just like it's like to the moon, right? Gold to the moon. And that's really hurting like the game because like I don't know. I feel like people should be able to like invest in other things than gold because gold has like it's kind of too easy to invest in gold, right? It's like it's based on real money value, and it like it's very hard for it to go down because silver would have to have lose that like increase in value, and it is literally impossible if more silver comes into the game than leave, right? Obviously, SBI reacted to the gold change by adding a sale on a 20% off sale for 2 days, and now it's or one day. Now it's 2 hours left. I feel like they should do a lot like this more. I think this should be like this would cause chaos in the gold market, which would make it less of a safe investment. Okay, because like they'd have to pre-sell it before and then they'd all have speculations and stuff like that. I feel like they should do that for more events like Christmas, Black Friday, Valentine's, Easter, all that stuff, right? Just not always 20%. Like 20% should be the max, right? It shouldn't go under 20%, but let's say like a 10% sale for Easter sale, or a 12% sale for summer. I don't know. I like this idea of making sales on gold. It's kind of cool, right? It doesn't really hurt the game because technically premium is still cheaper to buy than if you bought the gold like it's 15.95, right? This is just 15 and you only get 3,500, and to buy premium you need 3,750. But what SBI could actually do to fix this would maybe be reverting gold change like they did. Uh, Gold like premium used to be only 3,000 gold, and you used to get more gold with your while buying thing, and that caused premium to be slightly cheaper. Obviously, at the end of the day, alts are still a big issue, right? It's not just alts. People are saying, "Oh, it's just alts. It's just alts." No, it's also the fact that, like I mentioned, the RMT issue causing less people to swipe. Like the alts can be sustained if everybody's like if there was not enough RMT, right? If the bots didn't RMT, all this RMT didn't happen, there'd be a lot more gold coming into the game. Um, but there's also another solution they could do is being able to buy straight up like gold, right? I'm not saying buying premium with silver. I think that's a great idea, right? It's great for free to play. It's just stop people from just hogging gold out of nowhere. Like gold investing shouldn't be a thing with silver. It should just be like it should be a thing if you want to buy gold with real life money, right? You can stock gold like that, but gold you should be able to sell gold, but not. I mean, yeah, the gold would be bought from the premium itself, right? That would be what it would be bought from. But you couldn't just come here and just buy gold. That would kind of fix the issue of people just hogging a ton of it and just never ever selling it. Because since it's always going up, people put all their extra money in gold and never leave it there until they need it. But since like I said, there's more money coming to the game than leaving, they just keep putting more and more and more in gold and just keep stacking up their gold account. Never goes down until they might need it, right? But they usually don't. So they just keep it there. And they don't care if it goes down, if it goes up, they'll just keep it there. And because it's like a safer currency than silver because it can crash it's not as bad. But Albion is working on a solution. Here, I'll pull it up the screenshot right here on the screen. Um, that's what their staff said. Their mod just said also that yeah, they're working on a solution. The flash sale is obviously like the temporary solution. I don't think that's the permanent solution, but because it just crashed so fast and they wanted to stop it. But I really hope they get through to fix this thing, because I would be happy if like alt meta came down, because right now like you cannot refine without alts. Alts are necessary to make profit refining. If you check the profit for refining, you will see that it's all a loss at the non-focus cost, except like tier 3, right? And maybe tier 4 and tier 5. But the fact that tier 4 and tier 5 is pretty much a loss usually because people are using it to spec up alts, it's just, it shouldn't be like that. Like, it should be that people are able to refine like tier 4, tier 5, and tier 6 at a profit just for fun, right? I feel like. But if they banned focus and stuff like that, like spec would be useless, no? Because you have all this spec, right? This spec just makes it cost less silver. But there's Mogdone's idea, which I thought was a pretty good idea also, is that it would like make daily quests that would take like 15 minutes to complete, and that would give you your 10,000 focus for the day, right? Not just give it for free. Make a small daily quest, and that would block the amount of alts. You could still run like 10 alts, right? If you want to run 150 minutes a day of just doing the activities, and that would be more profitable. But that single change, and also make it like things that you can't just bot, right? That people can't just make botting software for it. But that would make in sort that a lot more of these big refiners, like that has 500 alts or stuff like that, couldn't keep up that big of an amount of alts. They could keep like it wouldn't completely remove alts, right? But it would make them a lot more demanding, time demanding. Because right now alts only take like, I don't know, 1 minute per every 3 days just from refining, and it's really hurting the game that way. I don't know. I'm really hoping they do change, they do like rework the entire premiums, like the gold system on their uses and the alt status. I obviously, for me it doesn't affect me, right? Because I only do on my main. Like if I log on the servers where I play, you'll see that I literally like, I saw a bunch of Reddit people because I went on Reddit, commented to that, and like a lot of people were just shitting on me for like, oh, you're a player with 50 accounts, you can't talk, blah 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 blah. When I try to put my ideas up to the table, but like they don't realize that I am literally not really a alt user at all. Like if we go this week top fame, I am the top crafting fame of this week. Like if you check, these are all PvE players, um, or PvP players, right? In the top 10, I am the only crafter in the top 10 of this week. I craft all on my main. I don't use alts to craft anymore. I did use like 4 alts, I believe, like at the start of the game to craft 8.4, but now I just craft for the black market, and that's how I know all the silver coming to the game, right? But I hope they do something about it. Obviously, the spike was like everybody saw the spike coming. Let's be honest. I don't know how SBI only started working on a solution for it now, but yeah, that's. Let me know what you think in the comments. I answered a bunch of questions from my Discord server on this in this video, and I'm gonna keep doing this for like future videos. So if you like want to have questions or stuff like that for econ, just join my Discord in the link in the description. Um, and you can also get a bunch of stuff, like I post giveaways there. Like I did a 10 million silver giveaway there recently. I also give associate once I have plots, when I have plots. Um, and yeah, you can ask anything about economy. It's mostly an e server though, so. But thank you for watching.